Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak English Flow. I'm Emma,
And I'm Mohin.
and this is day 3 of our 30-day English practice challenge. And today's topic is one that sounds simple, but trust me, it trips up almost everyone, talking about your daily routine.
Oh, I already know this is going to expose me a little.
Wait, why?
Let's just say my actual routine and the routine I'd like to admit to are very different things. I'll tell you more later.
Okay, now I need to hear this story. Hold that thought, we'll come back to it. So here's something interesting. You know your own daily routine better than almost anything else in your life. You've lived it every single day, maybe for years.
Right, it's the one topic where I definitely have zero excuse for not knowing what to say.
Exactly. And yet, ask someone, so what do you do every day in English, and watch how many people suddenly go quiet.
Why does that happen, though? It's not like we're being asked to explain quantum physics.
Because knowing something and saying it out loud are two completely different skills. Think about your favorite show, one you've rewatched so many times you basically know it by heart.
Okay, I definitely have one of those.
Right, you know every line, every scene. But if I asked you to act out an episode from memory right now, on camera, that would feel a lot harder even though you know it perfectly.
Huh. So my routine is like a show I know by heart in my language, but I've never actually performed it in English.
Exactly that. Today, we're going to change that.
Okay, so how do we actually start? Because if you ask me right now, I'll probably just say, I wake up, I eat, I go to work, and then just stop.
That's actually the perfect example, because that's not wrong, it's just disconnected. Three separate facts, no story.
So, how do I turn three facts into an actual story?
Time connector words. Watch what happens. First, I wake up around 7. Then I make coffee and check my messages. After that, I get ready and head to work. See the difference?
Whoa, that actually sounds like a real routine, not just a list.
That's the entire trick. First, then, after that, later, finally. Those 5 words alone can turn any list of facts into a flowing story. Okay, let's actually try it. Mohin, walk me through your real morning right now, using those connector words.
Oh no, live on the show? Okay. First, I wake up, usually way later than I plan to.
Relatable start.
Then I check my phone for way too long before I actually get up.
Very honest.
After that, I make coffee, and honestly, that's the only part of my morning I'm actually proud of.
Coffee pride is valid.
And finally, I rush out the door, already running a little late.
See that? That was maybe 15 seconds, and it was a complete connected story about your morning.
I didn't even think about grammar while I was doing it.
Exactly the goal. The connectors do the heavy lifting so your brain doesn't have to invent structure from nothing. Okay, before we go further, I want to pull 2 things out of what you just said, because they're honestly the most useful part of this whole episode.
Go for it.
First, you used usually to describe something that happens most days, but not always. That's a really natural way to talk about routines without sounding too rigid.
Like I usually wake up at 7 instead of pretending I'm perfectly consistent.
Exactly, because nobody's routine is 100% identical every day, and usually gives you room for that truth.
What was the second thing?
Okay, the only part I'm proud of. That's a great little pattern for adding personality to a routine description. Instead of just facts, you're sharing an opinion about your own life.
So routines don't have to sound robotic. I can actually have feelings about them.
Exactly, and that's what makes a routine description interesting to listen to, instead of just a list of times. Can I tell you something that changed how I think about this? When I first started learning Spanish years ago, I dreaded any question about my day. It felt like being tested.
What changed?
I started literally narrating my own morning out loud, in Spanish, while I was doing it. Brushing my teeth, I'd just say the sentence for it. Making coffee, same thing.
So you were basically talking to yourself all morning.
Completely talking to myself. My roommate thought I was losing it. But here's the thing. After about 2 weeks, when someone actually asked me about my day, the words were already there. My mouth had already rehearsed them 100 times.
So it wasn't about knowing more words, it was about your mouth actually practicing them.
Exactly. Knowing a word in your head and being able to say it smoothly out loud are two completely different muscles. Can I share something a little cultural here too, since we're talking about routines?
Please, I love these parts.
In American culture, when someone asks, "How's your day going?" or "What's your routine like?" it's usually not asking for something impressive. It's just small talk, a way of connecting.
So I don't need a fascinating answer?
Not at all. Pretty normal, just work in the gym is a completely acceptable answer. Americans actually love hearing small, relatable details. A chaotic morning, a boring commute, whatever's true.
That's honestly a relief. I always feel like my routine sounds too boring to talk about.
Boring is relatable. Nobody's impressed by a perfect routine. People connect over the messy, honest parts. Okay, let's level up a little. This time, give me your whole day, start to finish, using at least 3 different connector words.
Okay, pressure's on. So, in the morning, I usually rush to get ready, and then I commute to work, which honestly takes way longer than it should.
Very real.
During the day, I'm at work, and to be honest, by the afternoon, I'm basically running on coffee and willpower.
I felt that in my soul.
After work, I usually try to unwind a little, sometimes a walk, sometimes just collapsing on the couch. And finally, before bed, I check my phone one more time, even though I know I shouldn't.
That was a genuinely complete, connected story about an entire day, morning to night, with real personality in it.
I actually didn't stumble once that time.
Because now your mouth has practiced it twice already, in this conversation alone. Imagine doing this once a day for the rest of this challenge.
Honestly, doing that live, out loud, felt so much more useful than just reading tips in silence.
That's really the whole point of this challenge. And if these episodes are actually helping you build that habit, genuinely, no pressure. Subscribing just means we get to keep making more of them for you every day of this challenge.
Okay, Emma. Now you promised me a story of your own, remember?
I did. All right, here it is.
Actually, wait. I said I'd tell wine too, remember? The real routine versus the one I'd like to admit to?
Oh, right. Go ahead.
So if you ask me, I'll say, I wake up early and go for a run. The truth is, I wake up late, and the closest thing to a run is speed walking to catch my bus.
That is such a universal experience.
But honestly, saying it out loud like that, as a joke, actually made me realize that is a valid routine to describe. It doesn't need to be impressive.
Exactly what we talked about earlier. The real, slightly messy version is usually more interesting than the polished one anyway. Okay, before we wrap up, let's do a quick word tour through today's episode. Mohin, want to kick us off?
Sure. What's first?
Routine itself, the usual things you do in the usual order pretty much every day.
My morning routine is a disaster, but it's mine.
Perfect use. Next, commute, the journey you make to get to work or school.
My commute takes way longer than it should, like I said earlier.
Exactly right. Next, unwind, to relax after a busy or stressful day.
I usually unwind with a walk or just collapsing on the couch.
Great example. Next, hectic, very busy with a lot happening at once.
Every single Monday morning for me.
Same. Next, consistent, doing something the same way again and again.
Which is honestly the whole goal of this 30-day challenge.
Exactly. And last, intentional, doing something on purpose, not just by accident.
Like actually narrating your routine out loud on purpose, instead of just letting the day happen.
Perfect note to end the word tour on. So, if there's one thing I want you to take from today, your routine isn't something you need to invent. You already know it by heart. Today was really just about giving that story its English premiere.
And it doesn't need to be impressive or perfect, just honest, like we both just showed with our own not-so-glamorous mornings.
Exactly. The messy, real version is always the one people connect with. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It really does mean a lot to us.
And here's your homework for today. Narrate your own morning out loud in English, right when it happens, just like we practiced.
And we'd love to know, where are you watching from? And what topic should we cover for day 4? Drop in the comments. We genuinely read every single one.
Until next time, take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you on day 4.